Hi, second graders. This is Mrs. DeBolt. Mrs. Sanchez and Mrs. Fry and I sure do miss you. We wanted to reach out and say hello again and let all of you know that we are thinking of you and we hope all of you are doing really well. We miss you so very much. Our weeks are just not the same without you. We hope we can all get back to normal very soon. But until then, we thought you might be looking for something to do to keep busy and have a little fun. So we came up with a craft project that we wanted to share with you, and it's something that you and your family can enjoy together. It is called the Family Gratitude Jar. And in a few moments, we're going to show you all of the supplies you need to make this special jar at home. My daughter is actually going to help me make the jar and show you each of the steps that you would follow. You may remember earlier this year in class, we talked about all of the things that we were grateful for. And in each of our second grade classes, you all came up with almost 100 things that you were grateful for in each of the classes. So we know there are many, many things that all of us are thankful for and grateful for in our lives. Some of the things that you told us you were grateful for were your family, your pets, your church, Father Jim, your house, and many, many other things. So we hope by making this gratitude jar, it will give you and your family time every day to think about your blessings and all of the things that we truly are grateful for. So once your jar is made, we are hoping by allowing your whole family to participate, you will very quickly see how fast your jar fills up with all of the gratitude that you and your family have. One other thing I wanted to ask is that if you do make this craft project, we would sure love to see pictures of what you've created. So feel free to add pictures to the post on Facebook so that we can see all of your beautiful jars that you've created. Thank you, and we miss you, and we hope to see you soon. Take care.
Okay, now that we're ready to start making our gratitude jar, I wanted to just run through the list of supplies that you're going to need. My daughter Macy is sitting here at her desk and she's going to hold up the different supplies that you'll need. The first thing is a jar. So if you have a jar with a lid, that would work great. It can be a plastic jar, it can be a glass jar, it could even be a vase or anything that has a lid on it. Maybe even a plastic storage container with a lid. And you may need a pair of scissors. You may need a glue gun or at least some tape if you don't have glue. And if you do use the glue gun, you have to make sure you have adult supervision so that you do not burn yourself. The other things you may need are, in this one basket here, we have some pom-poms to use as decorations, which can just be glued onto the jar. We have some rolls of ribbon to, tie around the lid or decorate the lid of the jar. We also have different scraps of paper here in this basket. And Macy just cut them up into small little squares. You can use construction paper. We had some old scrapbook paper that we used. You can just use notebook paper or, note cards or anything that you might have at home. And then you'll need a sign for the jar. And Macy's already drawn on this little card or this little piece of paper, and she put on their gratitude jar. So you can decorate the sign however you would like. So that's about it for supplies. The first thing Macy's going to do is take the sign and hot glue it to the middle of the jar. And so Macy has applied some hot glue to the back side of her sign, and she's now applying it to the front of the jar. Next, she's going to take the lid of the jar and glue the pom-poms around the edges. As you can see, Macy is taking the pom-poms, putting a little dot of glue around the rim, and putting the pom-poms on. She chose black and yellow because it reminded her of a bumblebee for spring. Macy has now added a white ribbon around the top of the jar, and she's taking a yellow marker and a black marker and putting little yellow and black dots on the ribbon. As a final touch for decorating the jar, Macy is adding a little sunflower to the middle of the top of the jar, as you can see here. Next, Macy has cut out a small circle and is going to glue that on top of the inner part of the jar lid. Here is the finished jar. And here's what the top of the lid looks like. Now, this is where you and your family come into play as far as filling the gratitude jar up with what you might be grateful for. So I'm going to ask Macy to write something down that she's grateful for and place it in the gratitude jar. Macy is grateful for healthcare workers. So she's going to fold up her piece of paper and she's going to put it in her gratitude jar. As you can see, if you use bright colored pieces of paper, as you start filling this jar up, it is going to look very, very pretty. That's all for today. We hope you enjoyed the craft project and we can't wait to see what your gratitude jars look like.